Hey guys, this is Olympus Cards and Games, and I'm here with
Stan.
All right. And Stan went 4-0 at locals last night.
4-0, winning a box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really neat deck list. We'll go ahead and jump into the main board.
Couple of spicy cards. So yeah, I'm gonna go through the side deck too, because there's a lot of spice in this deck. So I play Infernobles. So starting out, we have, of course, we have the two Gear Freaks. This is the main deck boss monster of the deck, and it's really, really good. If you're able to establish this card before your opponent can nib you, that's very, very important. And you have different lines in this deck that you can use to get this guy on board. So two Gear Free is pretty much standard for everybody. I played a 3 Ogier. Ogier is one of the normal summons of the deck. Some people say it's the best. Some people say it's the secondary to a connector. I'm indifferent. It just depends on what cards are in my hand. Of course, rip and draw out your opponent's hand with the connector package is great, but sometimes you want to have this. So, and I play it at 3 because it's not a bad discard off Dolphin. So moving on, we played the one Turpin from the new set, and he's able to specimen himself from the hand or the graveyard if you control an equip card. But if he comes from the graveyard, he banishes himself. So he's a really, really great card. I want to play him at 2, but 1 seems to be working out perfectly for me. For the extender of the Infernobles, we have 2 Olivier. What he does is you send a equip or a firework to the graveyard to spell summon him as a level 1 tuner. And the fact that he's a level 4 tuner actually makes a lot of sense for my extra deck, but we'll cover that when we get there. The standard 3 Renaud. He's another extender of the deck, which is probably the best extender. Whenever he special summon, he gets an equip card or a firework from the banish or the graveyard. And when he special summon that way, he becomes a level 1 tuner, which is very important to synchro into Angelica. Next, we have a card that a lot of people do not play, which is Infernoble Knight Roland. So my end board typically wants to end on Metal Silver Armor always, and I'm not always able to get to a soul or need to get to a soul. So sending this off Angelica's effect to the graveyard to then add Metal Silver to my hand at the end phase and equipping it to Charles seems to be ideal. Of course, you will only use that if you only send him to the graveyard when you have already sent Turpin, used Turpin, or whatever the case may be, and you don't need another level 4 to make Charles. So that's why I play him. Moving on to the last Infernoble, we play one Ricardo. I call him Rick. So he's a part of the line where you can drop 1 equip card to the graveyard to special summon a level 4 monster from the grave, which is typically a Sold or either a Turpin to make Angelica. But I also use his other effect is to like banish him from the graveyard or the hand to special summon a level 1 or level 4 monster from my hand to make them a tuner. So it works out perfectly. And a double extender I play, which is Fireflint Lady. I probably should cut 1 for a red layer, and I think I will, because in the tournament, there was a time where I normal summoned Ogier, and they ended up negating and destroying it, and I had a Durandal in hand. I could have searched for a red layer and kept comboing off, but it didn't stop me from winning anything. It was very unique and very niche. So I might cut 1 for the red layer. Moving on to the best card of the deck.
Oh, absolutely.
Is Neospace Connector, and of course
his
the
buddy,
yeah, to take care of the droll, to get hand knowledge and things like that. Everybody should be familiar with this card and what it does. Moving on to the hand traps, I played 3 Ash, 3 droll. Decided to main droll because it's very impactful. This format, I want to get the initiative back to me as soon as I can. So playing Droll and Ash in the main and opening both throughout the tournament at least 2 times, 3 times throughout the tournament was amazing. So that does it for the monsters. Let's move on to the spell cards. So for the spells, we have 3 Heralds of the Chalice. This is your searcher for your field card and any Infernoble monster or noble monster. So it can search for any noble arms or any Infernoble monster. So it's really good. Then we have the 3 museums.
Man, you got this thing maxed out.
It's my favorite
beautiful
deck. Maxed out, dude. Maxed out.
It's so clean.
And this is a very, very, very good card. I don't think I want to continue to play 3, but I'm playing 3 for the foreseeable future. What this does is it allows you to turn all your level 4 and even rolling in an extra deck into extenders. When they get equipped to the spell and trot card zone, you can bring them up, which is a part of a spicy tech in my extra deck. We played the 3 Durandal. I don't think this needs to be explained. You know, it's pretty standard. We played a 1 All Mace. This is a great card. allowing yourself to swap between different equips of the Infernobles is really, really great. So I do love that card right there. We play the one Joyce. And of course, we play the one Phoenix Blade. I think something's going to happen to that card sooner or later.
Yeah, it's cracked.
The most important equip card in my deck is Metal Silver Armor. Of course, you guys should know by now. If you don't know, this makes your opponent play very weirdly, if they can even play at all. So when this is equipped to Charles, along with Olivier, your opponent cannot target monsters in my graveyard on my field and their graveyard on their field with spell, trap, or monster effects unless they target Charles. But typically, Charles is always not able to be targeted by the effect of Olivier. So that's a really good card. This closes out games that you probably shouldn't win, and it makes it very easy for you to come back. So last real spell of the extra deck is going to be, for the main deck, it's going to be Rhoda. That is what it is. And we have 3 flex spots right here for the one called by talents. And I want to play this because of Droll, because of Ash. Not all the time will I have a way to play through a Droll, so I think I need to continue to play that in the main. I always get sided out game 2.
Always want to secure that combo.
Yeah, I always want to try to secure as much as possible. If I can create the anti-Nibiru line without adding cards from my extra deck, from my deck, then having this is just going to be a guarantee. So that does it for the spell cards. No trap cards in the main. Let's move over to the extra deck. I play 2 Emperor Charles the Great. This is an insane card. Spell a trap negation, as well as, when it's equipped with Metal Silver Armor, it just does a lot for this deck. You're able to make that with the one Infernoble Knight Charles. He doesn't need to be explained. If you know Infernobles, you know how to play it. Then we play the 2 Angelicas, which is really, really pretty in Quarter Century. Really
beautiful.
Pretty. Very much so. Of course, when she's targeted by any spell or any card, your effect or your opponent's effect, she runs off the board, but she comes back during the end phase, and she special summons out her boyfriend of some sort, Roland from the extra deck. Of course, she searches for a museum as well. This is why you're able to continue to play through a lot of interruptions. But I do feel like there's combo lines where I don't even make a soul, and it's because of Angelica. She's that strong. She's very much that strong. But I got a side deck card that really utilizes her to the max. Of course, we play 2 Isoldes. Everybody should know what she does. We play the 1 Artorigus for the drop 4 equip card combo line. Of course, we play the 1 Lancelin for the anti-Nibiru combo that everybody should be aware of. We play the 1 Zeus to take the Perles, to take the Castira extra deck monsters, and things like that. We play 1 Burn the Floor because this is part of the end board. I'm going to save this last card for later. We play the Ferocious Flame Swordsman, and we play the Rattata. Now, this card here is very unique because your opponent has to answer this card before they move to the battle phase, and typically they do not. And it's really, really good to get that 1 pop because this deck struggles to get rid of back row of it in a sense. So having him on board, even when you're attacking into an established board, you're able to get rid of so many other cards. So your cards like Gearfried, Charles don't have to worry about those spell and trap cards that are already standing.
So for some viewers that may not be familiar with this guy, what exactly is his effect?
His effect is, I'm gonna read them verbatim. So it takes 2 monsters with the same type. So 2 warriors, right? All right. So once per turn during the standby phase, you can target 1 face-up monster this card points to, and you get to special summon a monster from your hand with the same type as the monster that it's pointing to. So those people who play Ika the Flame Buddy, this is a part of that combo where you would normal summon or special summon out Ika the Flame Buddy and special summon any of your monsters from the back row to the front row. So typically you would do that with Gearfried. I'm not playing Ika in this list, as you guys can see, but that's typically how it goes. You can special summon Gearfried up. The reason I'm saying Gearfried, of course, Great Shogun Shin is an amazing card. I actually was using Ika the Flame Buddy maybe about half a year ago in a Infernoble list with Ignites. Check it out on my channel. I'll link my channel down below for you guys. But I kind of coined that a long time ago, but I wasn't using this guy to do so. I was using Joyce and things like that. But his other effect is at the start of the battle phase, pop 1 card on your opponent chose on the field. So that's amazing in itself. And the arrows are important too. The 2 link arrows are important, where a lot of people like to go for Ferocious Flame Swordsman where he only has 1 link arrow pointing down. I want to continue to have the 2 link arrows pointing down because I might end the board with 2 Emperor Charles and this guy. So that makes it great. So the last card of my extra deck, which a lot of things have been revolving around of, it took me 20 minutes before the tournament to decide whether or not I wanted to play it. It was Crimson Blader.
Oh, nice.
And in my last round against Branded, it ended up coming in so clutch because the guy, he actually stopped me from making full combo. I had no way to make Angelica, no way to do anything like that, but I had a way to get to Crimson Blader by the effect of the museum. Being able to, so what I did was, I'm gonna just briefly talk about it just a little bit. So I was able to drop 4 equip cards to special summon out Ogier, but since I couldn't get to the line to make Angelica or anything like that, I decided to drop down Olivier, which is your level 4 tuner of the deck. And I equipped it to whoever I had on the board. I think I had Gearfried on the board as well. And I was able to special summon this card up. At that point, he decided to protect his life points because he didn't really have that much going on. And I just went for a synchro play, and I just apologize for you doing that because I went into this. I think he dropped Cyreneer on the board, and he had nothing in the back row. He had 1 card in hand after I had already ashed his Ultimate Rare Branded Fusion the turn before. So with that being said, like, he tried to protect his life points, which is all good, but he ultimately sealed his fate when he put a monster on board for me to actually kill. So that ended up winning me the game instantly. But I also play Rescue Ace, and this card is really good because Rescue Ace like to play on your turn. So I needed a way to punish Rescue Ace for playing on my turn. And I realized that because I only realized that because I play the deck also. So this is a great card to go into to make sure and guarantee that they don't pop off the next turn. They don't summon Turbulence. They don't summon anything higher than level 5 or anything like that. So this is a great card. I think everybody should be at least maining this in the extra deck, or at least siding it. So let's move on to the extra deck. I mean side deck. So the side deck, I always play Caliburn because the time rules. Our combos take an a long time to actually go through. So, but if you're going for the drop 4 equip line, you're able to drop this as one of the equips if you know you're already approaching time. And what this does is, of course, it equips to Artorigus, and Artorigus, you can use the effect to gain 500 life points. But also when it leaves the field, if there's another any Noble Knight on the field, it re-equips. So then you get to use the effect again. So it's a soft effect. Moving on to more side deck cards, we have 2 Nibiru's, of course. We got 2 Thrusts. And the thrust targets for this particular side deck is going to be 2 Dark Rulers and 1 Dimensional Barrier. That's typically what I start off on, even though I still play the 3 Evenly Matches, because going into established board, I want to simplify everything. I don't need to really attack to make my board, because cards like Gearfried, Charles, they don't really need to attack. They just need to be there to cause the pressure that they cause. So evenly matched, going main phase 2 and then popping off is great. I play 2 anti-spell fragrances because when I'm going first, I want to have my opponent set card like Dark Ruler and things like that. That's the only thing I'm truly afraid of. But if I can't get to anti-spell fragrance, this is the card I would like to get to.
Spicy.
Which is Gravity Collapse. And our normal combos leave Synchro Monster or a Synchro Monster on the board. So let me go further on with that. So everybody knows that Angelica comes back to the field when she at the end phase. So there's really nothing for her to do. So if I can establish Gravity Collapse on the board while she's there, I can give the turn back to me. So what this card does is it sends any face-up Synchro Monster to the graveyard. When your opponent would normal summon, or I think spell summon 2, it negates the summon and they cannot summon any more monsters for the rest of the turn. So effectively, this turns her into a turn skip. So a lot of people might be like, all right, if you can't get to Angelica and the turns are going, what can you do? What other extra deck monster Synchro monster can you use? Of course, Museum is also playing another part of this once again, because if Roland's in the graveyard, he can use his effect to equip himself to any Infernoble monster and then you can use the museum to bring him up, and it primes the field for gravity collapse. It was amazing last night. I think I resolved it maybe one time, but it's perfect. I only sided in when like game 3. Let's just say I win game 1, like I always do. Games 2, I don't side in. Games 3, I'm definitely siding this card in. It typically comes in when I'm also siding in the anti-spell fragrances. So that's the spice I have for the deck. If you guys take anything from this build, give Gravity Collapse a try and give Crimson Blader a try. It was phenomenal last night. It ended up winning me the game. And I think the most successful thing I can say about this whole build is that I spent 20 minutes debating whether or not I wanted to play Crimson Blader, and in the last round, it ended up working out for me. So
nice, man.
Great.
Yeah, it was a super resilient list. I saw you play through Ash, Droll, and D-Barrier for synchros all in the same turn, and you still won that game.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. Like D-Barrier me to hell, and I was just like, okay, what the hell can I do?
Yeah.
So I was like making extra deck monsters I shouldn't be making. That's the turn that Ratatin came into play, and Artorigus. So ended up attacking along with Gear Freeze.
Yeah, it was super clean.
Yeah,
we'll drop your channel in the description. Do you post combo videos so they can check out the deck in action?
I do. I haven't been playing for a while, but people keep asking me, am I coming back to you again? And I'm thinking,
You're back. You're back.
Guys. I'm back.
Awesome, man.
So,
we'll drop your channel in the description. And also shout out to Tapio Cards. I peeped the pins earlier.
Yeah, you know it. Charles, Roland, and Olivier.
We have a great friendship with them. They're good people. So, all right, man. Thanks. We'll see you next time.
No problem, man. Bye.